The global shipping industry aims to reach net zero emissions by 2050. The sector's strategy includes calls for a just and equitable transition that leaves no country behind.
Just an equitable transition for me as it pertains to shipping, but really as it pertains to the broader energy transition, really would include deliberate interventions to try and make sure that we take as many people, as many countries along for the transition as we can.
First and foremost, it's engaging with the Global South, that they are part of the energy transition, meaning that we need to invest in the Global South, but the Global South also needs to invest in themselves. They need to develop economic activity. Just transition for me as well is that we own our emissions that we made in the past and don't put too much burden on the Global South in the current decarbonization effort.
It has been suggested that a levy on emissions could help finance green energy projects.
One of the things that the IMO is working very hard on is putting together this global fuel standard, and at the same time an appropriate pricing mechanism to help price carbon, right? And that's needed not just in shipping, but really in all other hard-to-abate sectors around the world.
There's a pretty broad recognition in the sector that in addition to supporting the transition to zero-emission fuels, there needs to be wider understanding and support for those countries that might be at risk of being last in line for new technologies, for new fuels, or who are disproportionately affected by a rise in trade costs, which would be one of the effects of having some kind of measure in place.
While the International Maritime Organization works to finalize policy solutions, efforts are underway to promote green fuel opportunities around the world. An example of this is CMB.TECH's Cleanergy Solutions Namibia project.
An innovative player from the shipping sector was thinking of setting up an ammonia bunkering facility in Namibia, building some adjacent infrastructure, whether it's the terminal, whether it's a green hydrogen service station, the first of its kind in the world, ammonia pipelines, hydrogen pipelines, transmission lines, etc. And that, of course, would provide jobs for Namibians, would provide Namibians with the know-how, but at the same time, very importantly, it would also enable us to start offering a service to a whole new sector such as shipping in terms of bunkering. Moving Namibia across that spectrum of economic complexity is very important and an amazing opportunity.
The project highlights the potential for all countries to participate in the energy revolution.
A lot of these countries have the benefits of having wonderful sun and a lot of wind and also large swaths of land that are unoccupied. So all of this combined creates very good conditions for the production of renewable energy at very low cost. But there is, in many cases, lack of infrastructure, and you are talking about very large capex investments in a context where average cost of capital is very high. And so getting offtake agreements to Global South projects will be, I think, one of the most powerful mechanisms to get these projects off the ground and get the Global South involved and contributing actively to the energy transition.